Welcome aboard the USS
Bespoke podcast.
That. Today we're looking at Adventure Time and Steven Universe.
Oh my gosh. This is unheard of.
Because, well, there's only like 4 episodes of Adventure Time and only 2 episodes of Steven Universe.
Because they're leaving us out to dry and we need to cobble these together as best we can. And that's exactly what we're going to do.
Yeah.
No shame.
No shame. So we're going to start with Adventure Time, talking about
the new episodes. Quotation marks.
Which came out 2 months ago.
Don't worry about it. They're the newest.
They are the newest episodes.
But anyway.
Yes. So, we have some major developments.
Oh my
in World of
goodness.
Adventure
Do
Time.
we ever. We get our introduction to the Green Knight.
To the Green Knight.
Our favorite.
Our favorite character.
Our favorite guy.
Who is definitely not anyone else.
I mean, we've never seen this character before, clearly. What a fantastic new character.
And a shocking reveal. Never would have guessed. It is in fact Fern.
Yeah, I know. Who could have guessed?
No one would have guessed that one.
Man, how could you guess that the guy with grass powers might be related to that other guy with grass powers?
In no way, shape, or form.
Yep.
Also, fun fact, this is the second episode to feature Finn's birthday.
Oh yeah, hey. Now that you think about it.
Like, they've sort of like mentioned that his birthdays have happened, but just never in an episode except one time before.
Yeah.
So, yep.
He's old now.
Yep, he's 17 years
old. A whole 17 years old. Which, whatever.
Yeah, so
one day he's gonna die.
Yep.
Oh well.
We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
But for right now, 17.
17.
So, Finn's having a birthday party. Hunter's Wizard gives him an elk's heart. That's nice.
Beautiful. Very thoughtful gift from Hunter's Wizard.
He's challenged by the Green Knight, who is Fern. Everyone knows it's Fern,
everyone
except
knows
for
Fern.
everyone in the show.
Except for everyone.
But,
who else do we know that's green?
But everyone knows it's Fern, and it is Fern. But the real reveal
oh my goodness.
is in fact the horse that he rides is Uncle Gumbald, Cousin Chicley, and Aunt Lolly
all at the same time. Man, a brilliant plan by Uncle Gumbald. Nobody saw it coming.
No, I admit, I did not suspect that they were inside the horse. So they didn't fool us with Fern, but the horse was a good Trojan horse.
That's not the only reference. Did you get the big reference, the Green Knight reference?
The Green Knight is...
Well, so the Green Knight is its lone legend, right? From the times of the Round Table. The Green Knight, the tale goes, it was the Round Table was having fun, having a great party, as they do. I'm not sure if it was a birthday party, but whatever. The Green Knight, mysterious Green Knight, stumbles in from the night, no pun intended, and he accuses, and in the original story, he accuses everyone of being not good knights. They suck. They're not good knights because they're all drunk and stuff. But anyways, he says, he gives them the challenge. I will give one of you one strike to strike me down, and if you can't do it, then you have to let me strike you down with one blow. And only one knight was courageous enough to do it, which was, I believe it was Gawain, I think. Probably. Don't worry about the actual knight. They're all kind of the same, honestly.
They're all knights.
I mean,
They do their thing.
They do their thing. They do their knightly thing. But anyway, point being...
I don't know that was a reference.
Yeah, that's a real story.
That's
and
cool.
He was green, too.
He was green, too. But not made of grass, probably.
The story diverges a little bit. In the original story, like in the... still similarly, both of them fail at striking down the Green Knight, obviously. Otherwise, there wouldn't be much of a story. There'd just be a dead knight.
Finn cut his head off, but
True.
He just picked it up and put it back on.
Unfortunately, he's made out of grass. In the original story, it just doesn't work.
Yeah, so... Anyway, that's interesting. I didn't know that. So, here's an interesting thought. Didn't Uncle Gumbald betray Cousin Chicley and Aunt Lolly?
Yeah, he was the original one to turn them into candy.
Yeah.
That wasn't actually Princess Bubblegum. I guess it's water under the bridge now.
Yeah, I guess apparently they have decided, we forgive you.
We've forgiven, That was a long time ago.
That was a long time ago. We've all spent a lot of time as a punch bowl, a cookie, and a pinata since then.
Yep, they've gained a lot of perspective from their time there.
Yeah.
So I guess they're all on the same team again.
Yep. With also Fern. And Fern challenges Finn to a series of games. A series of games and riddles and japes.
Yep. Now, here's the thing about these games is that allegedly Fern is cheating at them, but I fail to see how they're actually... I mean, where are the rules to these games again? Like...
It's true. Like...
He's not using any, like, outside help, I guess. He's just doing it.
Except when the horse, like... throws Finn's ball off court.
Okay, well, that
deviously.
I mean, that's just, I mean, would you say it was cheating if some wind blew it away? I mean, I guess in this case we know it was Uncle Gumball, so we know it was intentional, but, you know.
But, yeah, regardless, the games are sort of pointless in the end.
Yeah,
they're just sort of there.
Yeah. I mean, what are they going to do, not fight? Like... They're just going to win the games and everything's going to be fine and they're going to leave.
I guess, like, Uncle Gumball was fine, just like, you know what? I proved my point. Time to go home.
Time to go home. Yeah, I don't know, the episode was kind of weird, because it sort of seemed like it was kind of, like, cramming in
it was
the whole Gumball thing.
Yeah, they had to, like, sort of properly introduce him as, like, the person, the villain. Yeah,
because until this point... I mean, we've seen him.
Oh, yeah, we've seen him.
But the characters haven't seen him. So they had to have all the relevant characters there.
Yeah.
So they decided to have a birthday party.
So they had Finn's birthday party.
And then all the games are just kind of filler.
Yep, it's honestly. Sort of just... Because, like we said, it doesn't amount to anything.
It doesn't matter. They're just going to fight at the end.
Yeah.
What is it like? Finn's just going to, like, lose the... What? So there's two outcomes here. Finn wins the games... and the Green Knight doesn't accept the results and they fight. Great. Or Finn loses, Finn doesn't accept the results of the fight and fights. So it's like, well, what does it matter what happens?
No, it doesn't.
No.
It was just sort of like,
they make a big deal. Yeah.
I guess Fern's stronger than Finn.
I mean, I guess.
Oh no.
I guess. I mean,
so
pretty obvious considering.
I'm going to be perfectly honest. This entire episode, it felt like, I guess it needed to happen.
Yeah.
But it felt like kind of we were just treading water a bit.
Yeah. It was just kind of like catching the characters up to the place where we've been at for like a long time.
Yeah.
So it kind of felt redundant.
So maybe Uncle Gumball's got some grand scheme.
Yeah.
Some grand plan.
Maybe.
To defeat Bubblegum.
But yeah, it sort of just felt like they were messing around for a whole episode.
A whole episode.
Kind of a waste of an episode. I liked how the end, it was like, that vampire is genuinely frightening. Even though, I mean, it doesn't make any sense since his force field had been clearly shown to be able to push Marceline anywhere he wanted.
Yeah,
So it didn't really make sense, but it was a funny line. So I'll accept it.
That's the thing that so he had complete control of the situation. Gumball. I'm not
sure
sure why he didn't like just say, "All right, time to win."
Yeah. This I feel like that plot hole would have been much better if they just like if the horse had just like opened his mouth and there was like a speaker inside and he was like speaking through there.
Maybe.
Then that would make a lot more sense.
They're just all there. It's like and then we could win right now, but we're just gonna go.
Yeah, it's like
and then they do. They don't like chase after him. They just well,
they're like bye.
That's unfortunate.
I mean, they're all
happy birthday, Finn.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Maybe Uncle Gumball didn't want to ruin Finn's birthday too much by murdering him.
He was just very sensitive about birthdays. You know? Doesn't want to be an asshole or anything.
I don't know where this is going. The story with Uncle Gumball.
Well, I mean, we do because we see the next episodes, but
I mean, we don't know what his plan is.
Well, his plan is to get revenge, I guess.
I guess, yeah. But how's he gonna do it? That's the question.
How's he gonna do it?
So, moving right along.
Right.
We're gonna take a complete diversion from this story.
We're gonna
go to a much more important story that definitely needed to be wrapped up before the end of the series.
Thank goodness. You were begging for it. You were crying for it. Everyone's favorite character, Tree Trunks, has finally got the backstory she so richly deserves.
In Ring of Fire.
In a Ring of Fire.
Which we guess is because of the guy looking for his ring.
Yeah, I guess. No fire to be seen, to be perfectly honest.
But it's a ring.
Hey, there's a ring.
So finally, Tree Trunks... There is a thing, though, like, at the very beginning of the episode, Tree Trunks, like, looks really old.
It looks really old, huh? Like more than usual?
Yeah, like, kind of dirty. And,
Dirty,
like,
huh?
being, like, thinking about her life, feeling sad.
Feeling sad.
And so Tree Trunks has a backstory now.
Yeah.
I don't think this is going to affect anything.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool. I mean, it was a funny backstory.
It was good. I'm not saying it wasn't an interesting, fun little story, but it's also like we've only got like 6 episodes left.
I mean, I would have preferred this being like maybe a less. It feels like it was positioned strangely because we've got this plot with Uncle Gumball going on, and then it's just like, shift gears into a completely different character who has almost no impact on the plot.
You know, unless Sweet Pea comes in.
Yeah, but I mean, that's Sweet Pea.
But Sweet Pea was only in the beginning, so
yeah.
But she did have an interesting life, that's for sure.
It sort of explains, I guess, her weird marriage thing, where like at the beginning, like when you first, like seasons ago, like you just assume that she's just a really bad person because she like divorces her husbands and like marries new husbands immediately. So you assume that she's just using these people, which she was. But now at least we get some closure on the fact that she's not gonna do that to Mr. Pig. I guess. Because she got locked down with a kid.
Pretty much that's the only reason.
But at least she's acknowledged it. Acknowledge that was kind of a mean thing to do, even if she's not sorry.
Yep.
I mean, and it also has helpfully revealed that most of her ex-husbands were bad people too. So.
I mean, except for the first guy.
Yeah, the first guy was fine.
He was just like, I want to marry you, and then she like says no. They get married, and she just like swims away.
Yeah, that was just that was just straight up like Tree Trunks.
Come on, Tree Trunks.
Tree Trunks just like that's just theft on Tree Trunks' part.
Why did she even lead the guy on?
Yeah, why didn't she just say no and then leave? And he's like, I don't want to marry you. Well, okay, bye.
Then she was a pirate.
Yeah,
and then she was like a
business tycoon.
Business tycoon. And then she just went back to being Tree Trunks.
Yeah, and then she was just Tree Trunks. The part where she's like, I'm never wearing clothes again. It's like, oh, okay.
Alrighty then.
Good work.
I'm glad we had this time.
I'm glad continuity is established.
Okay, so there is one thing though. In a sort of non-canon thing with the comics.
Oh, really? I haven't read the comics.
I haven't read most of them, but I've read a few of them.
Right.
But and they're not really canon, so it's not super important. Involves Tree Trunks being a pirate, so I guess that's confirmed.
Oh, okay.
Tree Trunks being a pirate and sort of like fishing marten out of the sea.
Fishing marten out of the sea.
At some point, but that's. So maybe that's canon now because
maybe it's canon.
Tree Trunks
maybe it actually
was definitely a pirate at some point.
We'll have to look up how canon those are.
But anyway, I guess that's it for Ring of Fire because it's just Tree Trunks. I'm glad. Hooray for Tree Trunks.
Pretty funny. I'll give it a pretty funny out of 10.
Pretty funny out of 10.
But no more.
Fairly amusing out of 10.
Exactly.
So moving right along. Marcy and Hudson.
We finally get to see Hudson Abadir again.
Yeah, it's been a while.
It's been a couple of seasons.
Yeah. Finn gets a new demon sword.
Finally. A really cool demon sword. Forged by Pep.
Yep.
Man, Pep-Bud is so cool. I love Pep-Bud.
He's friends with Death.
Can summon the Nightosphere. Summon the powers of the Nightosphere to come enchant swords.
Yep.
To kill ghosts. Pretty good.
Yep. So basically it's about Marceline and Hudson Abadir, who's still a bad dad.
Still a bad dad, unfortunately.
Still a member of the Bad Dad Club.
still one of the illustrious Bad Dad Club. Yeah. Of which, there's so many.
I mean, this episode is sort of like But he's not that bad, but he's still pretty bad.
I mean, I don't know. Yeah, that part of the episode kind of confused me because, I mean, he's still pretty bad. I mean, he would have killed all those people.
Yeah.
It's not like he was doing this of his own free will. It's only because Pet Butt restrained him.
He would have just murdered everyone.
Yeah, it's like, he's getting beat up by these ghosts, and Marceline's like, no, don't do it. And I'm like, he kind of deserves this. He's killed a lot of people. I mean, I'm not that sorry for him.
No.
Like, I know he's your dad and all, but
Like,
he's probably going to be fine.
When he first shows up, he's like, time to go suck some souls.
Yeah, it's like,
and
I'm
then
gonna
Pep
go
Butt's
kill
like,
people.
no, you can't do that.
Yeah, he's not remorseful at all.
No.
It's just what he does.
He's a demon.
Yeah.
And
I mean...
So Marcy has a show. Hudson Abadir gets attacked by ghosts.
Yes.
They remember. The people who wrote the show remembered that
Idiot.
that vampires can't be ghosts.
You
for
idiot.
no
Of
particular
course.
reason.
Yeah, it's like a rock, paper, scissors thing.
Yeah, that's the...
What beats ghosts again? I don't remember.
I don't think
I don't even remember what the third part of the
we don't know
trilogy
what the
is.
third part of the triangle is. It's just vampires can't beat ghosts.
Yeah.
That's all you know.
It's just like a, you know.
I'm glad they remember.
Yeah, thank
that
God.
vampires cannot in fact
If
beat
Marceline,
ghosts.
if Marceline had beat up the ghosts,
Ruined
and
forever.
nothing had been said, or if like it was some lame excuse, like
They can't like upset the power structure
yeah, exactly.
of
This is
Adventure
really
Time.
important. It is questionable why Marceline would play a gig at the ghost place.
Why not?
Well, I mean, you're kind of vulnerable. You can't fight back against all these ghosts.
Well, she can
What
just
if one of
fly
them-
away.
What if somebody tries to mug you?
You know, she likes to play in spooky places.
Fair enough. It makes sense. It's just I would be a little bit nervous if I was a vampire.
You know. Okay.
Oh well.
So yeah, basically, Hudson Abadir shows up being a bad dad.
Being a bad dad
Being a
proves
bad
that he's
dad.
not bad dad.
He's not a Martin bad dad,
Yeah.
but he's still a pretty bad
He's
dad.
worse than Martin on average, just not at being a dad.
He's worse than Martin on. Yeah,
He's slightly better dad.
slightly better dad.
In that he actually cares about his child, at least.
Yes, true.
So,
Still pretty bad dad. Though.
still pretty bad.
Oh yeah, of course, Cousin Chicle is there.
Ah, yes, Cousin
Almost
Chicle.
forgot about him because he sort of like instigates the ghost fight
I guess.
through his jibes,
Through
and
his
clever manipulation.
Yeah, through his crude remarks and evil tendencies, he instigates the ghost fight.
So, I think we're gonna have another thing. So it's like, aha, they found Hudson Abadir, Marceline's weakness. It's like, how exactly do they
Yeah.
intend to weaponize Hudson Abadir against Marceline here?
So
I'm a little confused on their.
yeah,
I guess. All right.
I was a little confused about his plan there because he's like, what exactly was like? I guess was he hoping the ghosts would finish them off?
No, I think he was like thinking maybe I'm wrong. He's like thinking, oh, maybe not. We know what we can do about Marceline next time we go try to fight Bubblegum or something. We can
What,
use
summon Hudson
we
Abadir?
can use her dad.
You're gonna use the spilled milk ritual to summon Hudson Abadir?
Yeah,
I guess they could. I guess they could.
I don't
It wouldn't
know.
be that helpful.
I don't know what's going on with the. Again, I don't.
Are they planning on just like letting him loose and letting him suck souls, and then like Marceline will get distracted by that? Because
Maybe.
I mean, there's not much you can do about that at that point.
I mean, yeah, I'm very confused. Ever since they actually entered the story and became like,
Yeah. It
I'm
sucks.
sort of like confused as to what they're doing.
It sucks that Chicle and the other whatever name is
Aunt Lolly.
Aunt Lolly. It sucks that they're not real characters. That they have no
You know,
character.
Chicle, he's kind of.
He doesn't have. What's his personality though?
He's got a goofy laugh.
Yeah, that's it. That's not a personality though. It's just. I mean, Uncle Gumball's pretty cool. I like him.
I like Uncle Gumball. He's
I wish this episode was fleshing out Chicle. I wish last episode was fleshing out Chicle, and then this episode was fleshing out Aunt Lolly, and then we could move on to the next episode.
Yeah. No.
No,
So yeah, they're sort of just maybe. I guess they're just the henchmen
Yeah,
of
they're just
Uncle
henchmen.
Gumball.
even though they're supposed there's they're just as much of Bubblegum's relatives as Gumball is.
Yeah, but like, yeah.
And I mean, apparently he's married to Aunt Lolly.
I guess that's true.
Is Uncle Chicle his kid?
I guess.
Or Uncle Chicle, cousin Chicle, his kid?
Yeah. So, I liked Uncle Gumball before these the episodes, but now he seems kind of. I'm just kind of like, what is he doing?
Yeah. What's he up to?
What's his plan? He like sort of came in, then he like left. Now cousin Chicle is here, and he's like, aha, and then he leaves.
Yeah, it's just like he's not doing much. He's just having Chicle come around, like walk around and like messed up, kind of. Not very effectively.
Yeah.
I liked cousin Chicle's like little ghost thing. That was pretty cool. Like
ghost disguise.
Yeah, I like how he can turn invisible or become a ghost.
It's clever disguise.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yep.
But
so that's Hudson and Martin, or Marcy.
I mean,
and
it was a
Hudson.
Marceline episode. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's got a little Marceline song. I'm not actually sure if that one's a cover.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because most of them have been covers lately.
Yeah.
So, moving right along.
Yeah, not much to talk about there.
Except for Chicle, Bad Dad. Moving on.
Pretty cool.
We have the first investigation.
The first investigation.
Interesting.
Yeah, I like this episode because it has the two best characters in it.
Talking about, obviously, Joshua and Margaret.
Joshua and Margaret, the best characters.
The best characters in Adventure Time.
There needs to be a spin-off of the adventures of Joshua and Margaret because they're so cool.
They're pretty cool. I would not be surprised if that was one of the comics. It was
Yeah,
like
that would be a good comic. That'll be like a good side story. Maybe not maybe not like a whole thing, but maybe like one episode or a side series, like a comic thing. Yeah. I would love that. That'd be great.
Also, Kim Ko-wan was in this one.
Kim Ko-wan. Kim Ko-wan is like the most important son, huh?
I loved the beginning of this episode because it's just sort of like them sort of sitting there looking at each other in absolute silence for like 5 seconds.
It's like, yes, sir, son.
Yes, sir. Just sort of sitting there, and it's like, and they sends them to Joshua and Margaret's investigation headquarters.
Their old one.
Their old headquarters where they are looking for ghosts. They find time travel stuff.
Time travel. Well, I mean, at first we don't know it's time travel stuff. It's just ghosts.
And then it's time travel stuff. Not
that the time travel makes any sense, but
no,
what are you gonna do?
It doesn't have to.
Yeah, we're not worried.
It's Time Bear.
Yeah,
He's
it's
just
Time
doing his
Bear.
thing.
This is just what it actually does make sense because this is just what Time Bear does, really specifically. Time Bear is not just a bear who has a clock installed inside of his chest. He's actually tuned into like the time, the universe or something, and he's messing with it.
Yep.
No telling why this is contained specifically to this one house.
Yeah.
And just outside of the house.
Well, you know.
But, we're just going to assume that Time Bear is not all powerful. I think the real question is, what is Time Bear doing in Margaret and Joshua's place?
Just
hanging out, being broken for some reason?
Hanging out, like freeloading on Kim Ko-wan's property.
He's just squatting.
Yeah. There's some classic Homestuck style time shenanigans going on for a little while. They see their past selves.
They become their past
selves.
They
become their future selves. Jake sees himself get born.
Yeah, that was pretty weird. He aggressively exclaims that he is not a head baby, he's a womb baby.
He is a beautiful womb baby. A majestic womb baby.
A majestic womb. Thank goodness.
Thank goodness. But he is a head baby.
He's like, I ain't no one of those head babies.
So basically what happens in this episode
is Jake gets abducted at the end.
Jake finds out how he was born, and then he takes off with the shapeshifter blue guy. Yeah. And that's the end of the episode.
Was it ever established that guy was a shapeshifter before?
Yeah. In the episode where he bites Joshua, he does a lot of shapeshifting.
Okay.
So
I didn't remember that part, but I liked how he was like a super shapeshifter, like he completely like changed into something else.
Yeah.
So it makes sense that Jake can just move around a little bit.
Yep.
Yeah.
So again, I have no idea where they're going with
Yeah.
that. I think now we can like talk about sort of where Adventure Time as a whole. We've only got like, okay, so last season had like 14 episodes. Mm-hmm. We're like 6 or 4, we're a few episodes into this one already, so we've only got like 6 episodes left.
Yeah.
And I have no idea what the heck they're gonna do.
Yeah. I'm guessing, I mean, it looks like Uncle Gumball is gonna be the big bad.
I guess, yeah.
I guess.
And also, Jake's doing something.
Jake's doing something. I'm assuming.
In another dimension, maybe?
Maybe. Maybe in space. Maybe they're aliens.
And it's
sort of hard to tell.
Yeah. And like
maybe that'll cross over into the Gumball thing. Maybe,
probably.
Like they'll be like 2 climaxes at once. Like Jake finds his real mom.
Well, I guess the alien thing is his real mom.
Yeah, exactly. Jake finds his people of shapeshifters, and maybe he doesn't want to go back or something. That'd be kind of lame.
But like, okay, so it seems like we're not coming in for like a nice, slow down, stop at the station on this train here.
Seems like
we're slamming. We're going full speed ahead, slamming straight into the wall for this ending that is happening.
Yeah,
it is
like
not.
it.
We're not like building. We're sort of just. We are building, but we're sort of just. We're just gonna end.
We're just gonna end on like. I mean. Maybe there'll be like a final battle, and then 1 episode later there'll be like a resolution episode.
Maybe
with Uncle Gumball.
If we're lucky.
If we're lucky. I hope it doesn't just like they beat Uncle Gumball, and then they're like, yay! And then the series ends.
That'd be
unfortunate.
Somewhat anticlimactic. Yes. Yeah. Although I think there is a movie coming.
Oh, is there a movie coming out?
I'm not sure, but we don't have a whole lot of details on the movie. It might be like a ending movie, or it might be like just a completely separate Adventure Time.
I mean, if it's an Adventure Time thing, it could be literally anything.
It could be literally anything.
It could be about Margaret and Joshua.
Yeah, for all we know. So,
nice to know there's a movie, though.
Yeah, apparently there is a movie coming out. But, again, we have, like, 0 details.
Yes, whatever. We'll figure that out later.
Yeah. But, like I said, I have no idea what's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, they made it unpredictable, I guess.
That's true. Like, after, like, the last, like, 5-episode drop that they did, I was thinking, okay, we've Bubblegum knows, like, they ended the last one with, like, Bubblegum knows that Gumball is back. Yeah. And now it's gonna, like, I felt like they were gonna start, like, rolling in towards the big finale.
The Gumball, yeah.
But they sort of, instead of doing that, they sort of just, like,
side story.
Kept on going. It's like,
yeah, it's just like they hadn't gotten all the side stories out of their system. Like, they wanted to show Finn turn 17 for some reason.
Yeah.
They wanted to show Tree Trunk's backstory for some reason. They wanted to show Hudson do something. Yeah. Like, I don't know, maybe they had a contract with the voice actor and they needed one more role. And then the last one is just like Margaret and Joshua, which is fine. I like Margaret and Joshua. And then at the very end, Jake does something.
Yeah, but there's sort of like, aside from like Cousin Chiclay being in like Marcy and Hudson, these 4 episodes had like no connecting.
Yeah. If you cut Chiclay out of the first, if you pretend like the horse was just a horse and it was just Fern, like Gumball had come back and just like revived Fern. Yep. And then Fern had like gone rogue or something. Like, anyway. and then you cut Chiclay out of the other episode and just have the ghosts be mad at Hudson because he's a piece of garbage. Yeah. And beat him up, and nothing changes.
Yeah, but like I said, these 4 episodes, they weren't connected to each other.
Nope.
They were sort of vaguely connected to, like, the last 5 episodes were neat because they like sort of all had they all had different stories, but in the background there was pretty much always like something going on.
There was like a background sort of thing going on behind a consistent through line. Yeah. This has no consistent through line.
This has nothing. This is just like, we have Finn turns 17, Uncle Gumball appears, Tree Trunk's backstory, Marcy and Hudson are hanging out, being father and daughter, and then Finn and Jake go to their old home, basically.
It feels like a lot of maintenance.
It feels like a lot of weird random stuff just like all getting thrown in at once. And like here at the very end, it's like, all right, I have no idea what we're doing now.
What I mean by maintenance is like, so they needed to do something with Fern. They needed to do something with. They needed Finn to get a new sword. They needed. I don't know. I don't know about the Tree Trunks thing.
They didn't need to do that, but
they wanted to wrap up Tree Trunks' story, and it's just like, well, I mean, it was kind of funny, but other than that, it doesn't really add much.
Yeah, I wouldn't say any of the episodes were like really bad individually.
Yeah,
I enjoyed watching them each individually, but there was definitely nothing like cohesive about them.
I don't. The closest I would come is like the first one, which was like to saying it was bad because the first one just seemed like a complete waste of time.
Yeah, it was kind of like it was baffling.
Like everything up to Fern appearing was a waste of time. Everything with the games was a waste of time. And then that's the whole episode basically.
That's the entire
Uncle
thing.
Gumball shows up, and that's it.
And that's it. And then he leaves.
And then he just leaves. I mean, and then there's also getting an Elkhart, which is pretty funny. But
and
Jake isn't even in this episode except for like one line at the very end.
No, he's got another line in there.
Yeah, whatever.
And then he like Ice King dressed as Flame Princess.
Yeah. That was more disturbing. I think.
That was very disturbing.
That was just. I mean, I didn't even really find that very funny because I was just so confused. It was just like what.
I mean, like...
So I get Ice King hiding in the cake. That's kind of funny. But why is he dressed as Flame Princess?
Finn's already messed up enough as it is at that point.
That just seems like intentionally trying to, like intense creepiness.
But yeah, anyway. I guess I'm curious to see where the show goes next.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting no matter what happens.
Yeah, so here's the thing.
Even if they ruin it.
Here's the thing that I'm curious about. And I'm kind of afraid that they might do, that I don't want them to do.
Yeah.
So, we have, like, Lemon Hope and, and Grable's 1000 Plus that sort of show us, like, glimpses of the far future of Ooh.
Yes, they do.
And I'm afraid they might try to resolve that future.
That would be so bad.
That wouldn't be very good. That would be unfortunate. Because, Jake, like, went through a magic portal to somewhere. And I think it's better if they, like, have their ending, but we know eventually what it all comes to.
I just assumed that was going to happen. I didn't even think about it.
I'm kind of scared that they might try to, like, do something to resolve the future.
They're in danger.
But,
oh, boy.
Like I said, I have no idea what they're doing now. They're, like, going off the rail. Yeah. We don't have a map. We don't have any idea where this show is going.
That's especially bad because that would not only be horrible episodes on their own, that would, like, retroactively make the other previous episodes worse.
Yeah, that would...
Oh, no. In a way that was, like, completely impossible to fix.
Yeah.
Like, anytime you would rewatch these episodes, you'd be like, oh, wait, no, I know what happens.
Yeah, and like
that's
what I really like. That's one of the cool things about, like, we know, like, there was, like, a sort of apocalypse before this series.
Yeah.
And, like, with this, we know that, like, we're seeing the middle of the story.
Yeah.
We know where it ends. Eventually, it goes to this.
We are in medias res.
Yeah, it's eventually, it all comes to this. And, like, the Candy City is, like, in ruins.
Even though it's all futuristic and cool.
Yeah, the Candy City
for all their technology.
Yeah, it's all in ruins. Marshaline's alone in a cave somewhere.
Yeah.
And it's just sort of empty and sad. And that's just the way it is. Like, 1,000 years later, just time moves on. And that's the way it is. But now I'm kind of worried because I have no idea what they're doing.
Are they going to... Yeah, because it's like... So... Because the last thing I want anybody to say is that I don't like new Adventure Time episodes. Because I do. They're good. I like them. It's just that nothing can keep up steam for 10 seasons.
Yeah,
it wasn't designed to go on for 10 seasons.
That's what I guess that's what we're feeling right now here at the very end. We're like, we have no... It's sort of like... It's not going out. It's sort of petering out.
Yeah, how is this going to end? Is Uncle Gumball going to, like, kill Finn or something? Like...
I don't think so.
Is a major character gonna die? Like, because if they do, then this is, like, not very good build up for that.
No,
not at all. Like, there's no gravitas or seriousness to Uncle Gumball.
No.
He's just like your average goofy villain now.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, you could argue that like before now, like with the whole mystery thing, we didn't know anything about Uncle Gumball. He was just some mysterious figure in the background. He could be very threatening, very cool. And I mean, he's still kind of cool, I guess.
I would say he was. I kind of liked him until like he sort of just showed up in 17 and then just sort of said "Mwah, ha, 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 ha," and then walked away.
Like, why did he do that?
I don't know.
It could have all been solved by my suggestion of just having a speaker in the horse's mouth, and like for some reason, and like he's just not there.
Yeah, maybe.
That would make, and he's just like, and then we could see his plan later, like his expert plan to get rid of bubblegum. That he's still formulating.
Yeah.
That he's still or even better, the horse is just a horse, and Uncle Gumball doesn't show up at all, and like maybe Fern just like alludes. Maybe Fern says something like, "This isn't how, Uncle said it would happen," or something, and we're like, "Oh, Uncle Gumball," and then they're like,
"Oh, that would have been good." Like if like Uncle Gumball wasn't in the episode, but like Fern shows up and like challenges Finn and like does all this stuff.
Maybe they have a real fight instead of just like do some stupid party.
Maybe like Fern beats up Finn, like they have their dumb games, and then he like throws him, and then he's instead of killing him, he says, "This isn't like I could kill you right now."
Yeah,
but this isn't how Uncle Gumball wants it to happen.
This isn't how Uncle G thinks it should happen.
Yeah, this isn't how it needs to happen. So I'm gonna let you live.
Yeah. For
now. And then now we have now Fern seems a little bit like, and Uncle Gumball. They're gonna
kill you.
They're gonna like they mean business. They're gonna like shut you down.
Yep. But
instead they sort of show up. They sort of have complete control of their situation with their magic force field.
Yeah.
But they just leave.
Yeah, I especially didn't like how they were all there. Like Uncle, like Cousin Chicle and Aunt Lolly are just sitting there, contributing.
They just sort of wave.
Yeah, just contributing to their no personality. Yep. You have nothing to say to this, nothing at all.
Yep. And really? Again, they're allied with Uncle Gumball despite being betrayed by him.
Yeah.
So still confused on why Aunt Lolly and Cousin Chicle are like maybe they actually have a plan to betray Uncle Gumball.
Maybe that would.
They turn it around like that. That would be interesting. But again,
like Uncle Gumball's like about to do something, and then they're like, "Hook!" Got a knife in the back. You just see a knife coming through his chest, and you're just like, "What? What's happening, Uncle?" And then like Cousin Chicle's behind him, just like, "Nice try, Uncle. You're not getting us this time. We're not gonna let you betray us this time."
But yeah, I'm very confused as to what's going to happen.
They've got a lot of explaining to do in these next couple of episodes.
I'm not saying there's no way it can be good, but I'm a little concerned about the future. Like, after the last 5 episodes, I was kind of excited to see where it was go. After these 4 episodes, I'm a little concerned as to where it's going to go. Basically. Yeah, I have no idea what's going on.
I mean, regardless of what you think about the episodes, the story has come to a dead stop.
Yeah,
nothing happened in these 4 episodes.
Yeah, it's gonna like I said, the train is not carefully pulling into the station. The train is like going full speed ahead, and it's gonna slam into the wall, and that's gonna be the end of the series.
Yeah, it seems like it.
And I could be wrong. They could have the next 6 episodes could be amazing.
Who knows?
And we don't know. We have no idea what the future holds. And with that, I think we're gonna transition into part 2 of this podcast. We'll move on to Steven Universe. So. See you then. Welcome back. We are now in the Steven Universe portion of this podcast.
Welcome back to a completely different podcast.
Where we're talking about Steven Universe.
Yeah. It has been monstrously stitched onto the end of the last podcast. I mean, they're just so completely different animals. I can't believe that we've combined these 2 things.
No one who likes Adventure Time likes Steven Universe. I mean, this appeals to no one.
There's basically no crossover. So, anyway.
We have 2.
A whole 2.
New episodes of Steven Universe.
We only get 2 of them because I guess it's a special event.
Sort of.
Stranded.
Yeah, I guess that's the big...
A real big special event that lasts for all of 1 episode.
Well, 2 episodes.
Well, I mean, but they're only stranded on 1 of the episodes.
That's true. But,
Whatever.
So here's a fun thing about Steven Universe. How it sort of grows and it stretches and shrinks depending on what it needs to be.
Yeah.
It's like sometimes we need an hour-long episode of Steven Universe.
Yeah.
And they just sort of stick 5 episodes together, and then we have it.
Yeah.
Sometimes we need a double episode of Steven.
Yeah. Sometimes we need a 20-minute one.
Sometimes you need a 20-minute episode of Steven Universe, and they just have 2 episodes back to back. No real.
I mean, as long as they need them in increments of 10 minutes, then they're fine.
Yeah, pretty much.
They can be as long as they want.
Long or as short as they want. They just release as many as they need to.
Yep. And the first of this double feature, Lars of the Stars.
Lars of the Stars.
Our first update on Lars since they got kidnapped, since they got taken to space.
Yep. They take Lion and go through Lion's mane. Come out of
for the first time in a while, apparently. Because they've gotten a lot done.
Yep. Then I guess so.
Lars is the captain of a starship now with all the off colors.
All the off colors.
And I really like the explanation for this. He can get past all the sensors. Yeah, it makes sense.
They didn't just Lars is just a.
He's just so cool now. He is a little.
He is pretty cool now.
That was my big worry when I first saw the reveal. I was like, oh, have they made Lars a completely different character now? What happened?
It's no, he's just the same. He's pretty much the same. The reason he's just able to sneak past all the scanners, so that's how he gets away with all this stuff.
It's how are they gonna get him when in a world where pretty much everything is automated by these bots? And the bots can't get him, so. Yeah. So why would they design around humans?
I would have been a little bit if Lars had just spontaneously become a freaking
if he had just become Kamina.
Yeah, that exactly. But so Lars and the other off colors, his loyal crew, they have stolen a ship. From
the Sun Destroyer?
The Sun Incinerator.
Oh, Incinerator. That doesn't even make sense.
From Emerald, who is just a sort of new gem, who's their antagonist, I guess.
Did you ever see those screenshots where everybody thought green? That thought that Emerald guy was White Diamond? That was pretty funny.
I never saw that, no.
There was just some weird leaked screenshot and it was oh, is this White Diamond? What's going on? It's no, it's just Emerald.
It's just Emerald.
Emerald's pretty cool. I like Emerald.
I like Emerald.
She's kind of dramatic.
She is pretty dramatic.
Which I thought was pretty funny.
Yep. And Lars is also pretty dramatic.
I like how they're just straight up having an episode of Star Trek here.
Not even yeah.
Where the enemy comes on screen.
Yeah.
And talks to them and it's we're about to blow you up and it's no you're not. Which is pretty much every episode of Star Trek.
Star Trek, and it was also very anime.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yep. And they got the Rhodonites as the pilot. They got Pad Paracha, who's just sort of sitting there.
Well, I guess Pad Paracha is navigation. I don't know.
What is that? That doesn't make any sense.
I'm not sure. It doesn't really matter what all their jobs are, right?
Yeah, not really. Fluorites down in the engine room.
That's pretty funny.
Fluoride's pretty good. I like fluoride.
Yeah, fluoride's pretty cool. But, yeah.
So, basically, they go there. Lars is sad that Sadie's, having fun without him. But, he's having adventures without her. And there's it's okay. And this arc goes over the course of literally 5 seconds.
It does.
He's sad for a minute of the show. And then he's good again.
It is a little fast. It's definitely fast. Don't get me wrong. I just don't mind the fastness as much because
it didn't really need to be there at all.
Yeah, it kind of didn't really make sense in the first place. Because I
guess it makes sense for Lars to be that petty.
Yeah, but he's obviously changed.
Yeah.
After all your experience of dying and stuff, didn't change your perspective on this at all.
No, apparently. Well,
he's
still growing.
So yeah, he's still growing. It's not impossible. It only being 5 seconds helps.
Yeah.
If it had been stretched out over the whole episode, I would have been oh god. But it's just 5 seconds where he's shocked, right?
Yeah.
Where he's just he just hadn't thought about it.
Yeah, he's been so busy having these space adventures, he just realized, back home, things are just sort of moving on without me.
Yep.
And like I guess that's a good reason.
How long has he been gone?
Who knows?
Yeah, it's sort of
a week,
unclear.
Maybe.
Yeah, no, because if he's only been gone a week, then it's just like, well, she's just doing something else. Like she's not just gonna sit in one place waiting for you.
Yeah, we have no idea the time scale.
Yeah, exactly. So Lars has a weird, unrealistic expectation of Sadie, which is fine.
Yeah,
it's something he would do.
Yeah, I think that's sort of I can sort of understand what they're going for. Like he's sort of amazed that like life can move on without him.
Yeah.
And he's like kind of upset about it. But like again, Steven Universe is really good about this. They'll like if they have it there, but they don't like dwell on it for too much. They sort of like get it done, get it out of the way, and they're right on to the action.
Admittedly, if you look at it, he is kind of the reason that they get stranded.
That's true.
Because if he had just not been crying about it and made some decision, been a little bit more decisive, they wouldn't have gotten cornered in the first place.
Maybe. But that's besides the point.
You know, water under the bridge.
Water under the bridge. Steven and Connie fuse into Stevani.
That's pretty cool.
It's pretty great.
Stevani's the coolest.
Stevani's pretty freaking cool. And Lars has a spaceship that drives like a car somehow, but we're not going to question that. Who cares? It's awesome.
Yeah, it's cool.
I like it. It's too awesome for me to question.
I love Stevani being like a fighter, like in a fighter jet.
In a fighter jet, that's pretty great.
Pew pew pew. Yeah, like Star Wars.
Yeah, flies around, shoots some stuff, but then they get shot.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much the episode.
Yeah, that's the episode. Just on a side note, I like it sort of transitions from like an episode of Star Trek where they're all standing on the bridge talking to a screen to an episode of to a movie of Star Wars where they're like flying around in jets and shooting people.
Yeah.
So it's got both of the space adventures there.
Just seeing as we're pretty much at the end of this episode already. Like,
yeah.
Did you feel the same way? Like watching this episode, like it was just over in like 2 minutes. It felt like.
Yeah, it felt like a lot. It went by really fast.
And Steven Universe is actually really good at this, like because very often I'll like watch a new episode and like that was over in like minutes.
Yeah,
it did not feel like a 10-minute episode. That felt like 2-minute episode.
Yeah,
because they just did so much so fast. It was like amazing.
It's there's not as much fat on it.
Yeah, it's very trim.
I'd say, I don't know, Adventure Time.
I'm gonna cut that out.
Yeah.
Anyway.
What, am I not allowed to mention it?
This is the Steven Universe podcast, man.
Persona non grata. Adventure Time.
This is the Steven Universe podcast. But yeah, this like was over in like. It was just over immediately.
Yeah.
and we're moving on straight on to part 2. Stranded, which felt longer.
Yeah, it did feel longer because there was more fat on it.
Yeah, they had a montage.
They survived. I mean, it was cool. I definitely liked it. It was
I definitely
awesome.
liked the montage. The montage was neat.
Surviving on an alien planet.
Yep.
Debating over whether to eat a small baby bird.
Yeah, that was probably my favorite part.
It's like, we need protein.
It's like, but it's so cute. Just the internal arguments.
The internal argument, and you know that the one who wants to eat it is Connie, and the one who doesn't want it is Steven.
It's pretty great.
Yeah, I like. Oh, that was the best part. Is whenever Stevani's talking to herself, they never do like a dumb thing where it's like it switches to like Steven's voice when he's talking.
Yeah, no, it's just.
But you can just tell by what they're saying.
Yeah, you can tell by what they're saying who is like.
Oh, that's so good.
It is really good. That's one of the cool things they do with like
imagine if keep going, sorry.
I was just one of the cool things they do in the show in general but is fusion.
Yeah.
And how it's like not just like 2 people in one body, it's like a new person.
Right.
And that's what makes it cool.
Imagine how dumb it would be if that every time they wanted Steven and Connie to have a conversation, it was like they fade up and then there's like 2 like translucent versions of Connie and Steven looking at each other. It would just be terrible.
That would be pretty bad. But they don't need to do that. They just have.
Luckily.
And it like sounds. It's great because it sounds like both like Steven and Connie sort of having an argument.
Yeah. And
also Stevani just sort of talking to herself.
Yeah, exactly.
So it sounds like it works as both at the same time.
Yeah.
Oh, fun fact about this episode. I think this is the first episode where technically Steven does not appear at any point.
Oh yeah.
Because it's all Stevani the entire episode. And
yeah, he doesn't ever unfuse.
It's the very first episode where there is no Steven.
Huh.
Technically,
yeah.
He's part of Stevani, but
you know. And
that's interesting.
That is interesting.
Fun fact.
Didn't even realize that.
Yeah. So they get stranded on an alien planet. They're surviving.
And then we find a cool thing.
Then they find a moon base. An old abandoned moon base.
Oh well, first they have their prophecy dreams. Well, I mean,
they find the moon base,
but they don't know it's a moon base yet.
Yeah, I guess true.
Whatever. So they have their prophecy dream.
Yeah, and I think they did that really good too.
Yeah, I
because
like the dream.
it was Stephen having one of his dreams, but also Connie is there too.
Yeah, Connie like influences it because it's like Connie's mom.
Because it's also Connie's dream. Yeah. It's Stevani's dream, so they both have to have like a sort of.
Oh man, that is weird. Like the dreams of fusions. Like what happens there? Who's dreaming?
So yeah, Stephen's having like a sort of diamond magic psychic dream, and sort of Connie is also there, sort of lending her sort of subconscious to the dream as well.
Yeah, exactly.
So Yellow Diamond appears as Dr. Maheshwar.
I really like how it's just sort of the dreams in Steven Universe are much better than the dreams I think in like anything else, because they're kind of bizarre, and Steven doesn't, and like a lot of the time Steven doesn't realize he's in a dream, like because at like the beginning of this dream sequence. He's just like talking to mom. Yeah. like it's clear that he's like doesn't really realize that he's in a dream.
Yeah.
Or
they don't realize that.
Yeah, exactly. Don't worry about it. But you know.
And they sort of.
And the dreams are bizarre and they don't make sense and like they rise out of the floor for some reason and they're tiny and they don't question that.
Well, they're tiny compared to Yellow Diamond.
Yeah, exactly.
Who is being portrayed by Dr. Maheshwar,
exactly.
Who is huge.
Exactly.
Or rather, normal side. Never mind.
Yeah, don't worry. Also, we finally get to see Pink Diamond.
We do get to see Pink Diamond.
Woo! It's been however many episodes it's been.
To introduce us to a dead character. Hooray!
Hooray! But a dead character that's like the most important character.
Who is pretty important, yeah. Who, according to many fan theory, might not actually be dead.
Yeah, whatever.
Because fan theories.
I mean,
but I don't know.
She's
probably dead.
We'll discuss we'll discuss fan theories in a moment, but
yeah, we'll get to that.
What we learn a lot. Pink Diamond was a brat, I guess.
I know. That was my first thought. I was like, wow, Pink Diamond's a brat.
Yeah, this is our first indication. This is the first time we know, as far as I know, that Pink Diamond was not a peer to the other diamonds. Was like sort of
below them.
Well, somewhat, or at least at the very least younger. They're junior.
Yeah, they're junior, and like, yeah, and
if not like subordinate.
And for some reason, much smaller than Yellow Diamonds.
I mean, that could have just been the dream.
Because there's been definitely a lot of fan theories about this. Yeah. Because she punches the glass.
Oh yeah, she does.
And then they like see the broken glass early, and it's the same glass. It's not so. Yeah. She apparently was that size, and maybe that sort of adds to her sort of inferiority complex that she has when she's talking to Yellow Diamond.
Yeah. So.
Who was voiced entirely by the voice actor of Dr. Maheshwar, whose name I can't remember. Yeah, so they didn't actually get the voice actors for Yellow Diamond.
Huh.
They had I wish I could remember her name. The voice actors for Dr. Maheshwar just do the whole thing, and she did a really good Yellow Diamond.
Yeah, she did.
Which is she has her face the entire time,
exactly.
Which looks so weird.
It's a little bit weird.
Yep.
Trying to improve the Yellow Diamond character design, I guess, by mashing it with somebody else.
That's definitely an improvement.
Yeah.
But importantly, we sort of get to see the sort of interaction between Pink Diamond and Yellow Diamond. They have this conversation where it seems like Pink Diamond is a total brat. Yeah. Entitled little.
Yeah, it's sort of. I mean, this is as much fuel to theories as you can get, basically, but. Our first glimpse of Pink Diamond's personality. Yeah. Basically ever.
Well, yeah.
But
until now, she's literally just been a cave painting.
Exactly.
Or a moon-based painting.
So, but anyway, so we get the dream. We find the moon base. They contact Lars.
And
they get out of there.
That's pretty much it. The dream is pretty much like they go up.
The dream's the focal point.
They Then they go up, contact Lars, and leave. Mm-hmm. We don't actually see them leave, but who knows?
We assume that they leave.
I guess next episode just gonna start with them back home, probably.
Probably.
Who knows?
Maybe them they said that they were getting close to home.
No.
I guess.
Lars said something about sending him back home through his hair. So.
Oh yeah, that too. But I mean, they're also flying home.
Yeah. So. Yeah, that's interesting. So I guess they didn't need to go get Lars. Lars is just coming back on his own.
Well, if you remember what they were doing in the beginning is they were just giving him like a care package.
Yeah.
Like here, have some food while we figure out what to do.
Yeah, pretty much. But then they went there and like
Lars is already got it.
Lars is solving the problem.
He's already taken matters in his own hands. He doesn't even need the gems for this one.
Yeah. Well,
there's
the
other gems.
There's another thing that people are like, where are the gems in these episodes? How come they just let Steven and Connie go alone?
It's like, well,
possibly they didn't know that. Like, that actually makes sense. They didn't know that Lars was like in a spaceship fighting pirates.
Yeah,
they thought
exactly.
they thought he was like hiding in a cave somewhere. So I guess they weren't that worried about it.
Yeah, people seem to forget that the assumption of this mission was they were going to go there, give him some stuff, give him a pep talk so he's not too depressed, and then head back.
Yeah. Not go on a space adventure.
They were not planning on going on a space adventure.
Yeah, so that makes sense actually.
Yeah. So anybody who thinks that's a plot hole, you're dumb.
So moving on to like sort of the theory section
theories.
of.
Because like I said, oh boy, if the theory is a fire, this is gasoline.
And Pink Diamond has been revealed.
Woo!
So a lot of people are like theorizing about why she's so short.
Yeah.
And people say she's a defective diamond, maybe.
Maybe she's an off-color diamond.
Maybe she's or maybe there's like a contingent of people thinking it's a defective diamond. Contingent of people thinking diamonds grow over time.
She did have attributes like, you know, she's bratty, so that's kind of like a young person, like, like a or maybe she's a baby diamond. I guess. Yeah. Maybe. I mean, there's just so much up in the air.
Yeah, pretty much.
Maybe diamonds only get bigger when they have their own planet or something.
There's a theory going around that like diamonds like absorb gems to grow bigger, which is
impossible.
Not impossible.
Seems like it'd be pretty easy to do then. I mean, why aren't they really, really big?
Yeah, that's true.
Why do they need the cluster if they could just like absorb the cluster?
Anyway.
But whatever.
Those are the big theories running around about why Pink Diamond's so small.
Yeah. She's too nice to absorb people.
But the real interesting thing is, now we know why Rose Quartz maybe killed Pink Diamond. Because she was so annoying.
Yeah.
Or like, maybe didn't kill Pink Diamond. We don't know anymore. It's up in the air now since Zircon like put it all in perspective.
Zircon basically confirmed that Yellow Diamond killed her.
Yeah, or White Diamond.
We're
pretty sure Blue Diamond didn't do it.
Yeah,
she seems really messed up about what happened.
Yeah, Blue Diamond is actually genuinely sad about what happened, as opposed to Yellow Diamond, who's just acting.
Yellow Diamond, who's upset. She's upset about it. We know. Right. She had her song, and she's definitely upset about it.
I mean, but that could have been an act.
No, I'm pretty sure she's upset about it. They wouldn't lie to us in a song, Ben.
Yeah.
But she seems like she's more upset that Blue Diamond's still upset.
Yeah. I mean, a theory could be, just thinking this up, is like Pink Diamond was just like the runt of the litter.
Maybe.
Like there's four of them that were made at like the same time. Maybe she's not younger. She's just the runt. Like Amethyst.
Yeah, possibly.
You know, that could be like a narrative through line there. She's just the run of the litter, and like eventually Yellow Diamond or White Diamond were like, well, you know,
let's get rid of her.
She's too much of a burden. We can't have her like messing things up on Earth.
Yeah,
or whatever.
Well, I mean, we can't have a diamond that's small.
Yeah, exactly.
That like ruins our image. Yeah, you can't do that.
Better to have her posthumous.
Yeah. So that might be.
That could be.
I don't think Yellow Diamond is directly responsible, because that seems like it'd be a little too obvious. Though I do like your idea that she's like sort of in cahoots with White Diamond, who is responsible. Who is, well, maybe not directly responsible, you know.
Right. They engineered it.
They engineered.
Like maybe they didn't actually go up there and like kill him.
I doubt.
But maybe they opened up a path for Rose Quartz to do it.
Maybe.
like Rose Quartz wanted to kill her, and then like
Possibly.
they sort of like let it happen.
And we've got a lot of unanswered questions about the. We thought we had a lot of answered questions about the death of Pink Diamond, but now Blue Zircon has thrown it all into who knows how
fat
she
wrench into
died.
things.
All the gems seem to think that Rose killed Pink Diamond.
I think it's almost certain that Rose Quartz said that she killed her to like strengthen the rebellion.
Yeah.
I mean, how cool is a rebellion leader that could kill a diamond? Right?
That's true. That's true.
That adds a lot of gravitas to your movement there.
Yeah.
Like if you can kill a diamond, you can do anything.
Pretty much, yeah. Gotta shatter the diamonds.
Mm-hmm.
Again, there was only 2 episodes. And now we're back into the world of mystery as to when is the next Steven Universe gonna happen.
Now we're back into the greatest mystery of Steven Universe.
The greatest mystery.
When is the hiatus gonna end?
Never.
Never.
The hiatus is
perpetual.
All the episodes that are released are just short breaks from the hiatus that is ongoing eternally.
Oh well. What
but,
do you know?
I guess we just gotta wait and see. I wonder what. So what are we doing next in Steven Universe? What's happening next? We're gonna go back to Earth.
So let's see. So they still got the diamonds. They've still got the diamonds on their trail, basically, because remember Lapis had to leave because she assumed that the diamonds were gonna come to Earth and destroy it.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming that's what's gonna happen next.
Yeah.
There's gonna be a climactic showdown with the diamonds eventually.
And that's the end of this Steven Universe podcast.
Yeah, that's about all we've got for you today.
Yeah,
in terms of Steven Universe.
I can't wait for more episodes.
Yeah. It'd be great if we could talk about it more, but unfortunately,
we only got 2.
They were all of 2 episodes.
Only 2 episodes, only 4 Adventure Time episodes. At least Steven Universe isn't ending.
Yeah.
Anytime soon.
That's true.
So that's nice.
Rip in peace.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening to the Bespoke podcast. We'll be back next time that there's new episodes.
Which may never happen.
Which, I mean, in Adventure Time eventually it's never going to happen.
Yeah, that's what we're going for. Well, thanks for listening, everybody. Keep being bespoke. That's the worst.
I was just trying to think of the worst tagline ever.
Alright, we're done.
It's like, what's up, Bespokers? Thanks for watching the Bespoke podcast.